Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Straight Outta Boston here, and today I'm back for episode number 11 of my Cincinnati Reds franchise series here on MLB The Show 16. So today we're back continuing in the middle of season number 2, passing through the month of July now as we are moving closer toward the All-Star break and eventually the trade deadline, which is going to be a pretty big theme of this episode. But first, let's take a look at who our All-Star representatives were. We had 2 starting pitchers make it, as well as Brad Ziegler, but Brandon Finnegan and Raisel Iglesias both representing the NL, or I should say representing the Cincinnati Reds on the NL squad. And then Joey Votto, of course, making it, batting fourth. He's having another monster season. We wouldn't expect anything less. The NL does win the All-Star game, so that is good news for us. And we've been playing very good baseball lately. You know, I'm honestly kind of surprised we've been able to keep up this torrid pace up to 60 and 35. I think definitely a lot of it is flukish, but a lot of it also stems from how good our pitching staff has been. Taijuan Walker and Zach Wheeler, I think, have especially been the X factors, kind of improving their play over the last month or so. And a couple of you had wondered why Devin Mesoraco was out of the lineup last episode. He actually got hurt with, I believe it was a fractured hand. So he's going to be on the shelf for another 2 to 3 weeks. We've still got Tucker Barnhart and Jordan Pacheco as our catchers at the moment. You can take a look at some of the hitting statistics. But anyway, we're coming up at the trade deadline here, and I've got a bunch of kind of trade proposals to run by you guys. And I'm not really certain about any of these offers, but they both center around Billy Hamilton and Taijuan Walker because those are 2 guys who I think are a little bit overvalued in the game. And I think if we were to move them, they're kind of underperforming for, 88 overalls, so to say, which are, the overalls that they are. And I just think that we could capitalize on that value and actually get 2 players, maybe just one player like a guy like Miguel Sano you saw there, or a guy like Jorge Soler. We could also add on probably a reliever in this deal. Or we could get 2 guys like, Jose Quintana and Adam Eaton who could contribute. I mean, I really like that offer because then it really opens up us to move Walker for whoever we want. We can move Eaton to center field. Quintana takes Walker's spot, and then we can, use Walker to maybe pick up a left fielder, another corner outfielder, or, somewhere else where we can improve the team. I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. I guess I'll talk about this for probably a majority of this video, but I will say right now, you guys should pay attention to Raisel Iglesias to start in this episode because he goes nuts in this game. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So I really feel like, with the state of our farm system, and it's kind of just the fact that we decided to go for this kind of quick rebuild, and that was my choice, and I kind of regret it, just because I don't really think we built up the farm system to the point where we're really dealing from a position of strength at this point. It kind of feels like, we do have a really good team for 60 and 35, but like I said, I think we're playing a little bit over our heads. I don't really think that we are truly a 60 and 35 team. And at the same time, I also think that it's going to be tough to improve this roster based on, the state of our farm system. We've got a couple good prospects. We've got a lot of good pitching prospects, which is good. We can certainly deal off some of those. But, to really add on and, add like a true, like a guy like Jorge Soler or a guy like Miguel Sano or a guy truly that good, we'd probably have to deal from our Major League roster. And, just looking at the guys over the first year and a half who have done well consistently and, played up to their ratings. I look at Billy Hamilton and Taijuan Walker as 2 guys who haven't really done that. And I got Walker last year with the idea, with it in mind of possibly selling him later kind of as an asset because I knew that his value was going to go up just because he was still young. He still had that high potential. I think his potential is actually an 88, so he's already capped out. And, he's having a decent year this year. He's got a 3.71 ERA, I want to say. But the strikeout to walk ratio, I don't think I've ever really seen it get above 3. So he's kind of capping out as that kind of pitcher, which is fine. He's not bad, but he's just not, he's probably not really a true 88 overall, or at least he doesn't perform like one. And Billy Hamilton, Billy Hamilton does what he does. He is fast. He covers a lot of ground in the outfield. He wreaks a lot of havoc on the base paths. And, he creates value in that way. And, when I'm playing as a user, it does help to have a guy that fast. I mean, if you guys remember from last year's franchise when I had D. Gordon, he was really an X factor at the top of our lineup, I thought, once we picked him up. And really made a difference as we started to build that team towards a World Series contender. But anyway, back on the topic of Billy Hamilton, I think that in the same sense, he can, kind of provide a similar type of value, but I just don't think he's as good of a hitter. And, I'm kind of forced to bat him 8th just because his OBP is like sub 300 still. And that just doesn't get it done. And, if I want a guy who's an 88 overall, I'm going to hope that he can contribute a little bit more offensively. So that's kind of my mindset behind, looking to potentially trade both those guys. But here's what I will say. a move like that, I feel immensely more comfortable making in the offseason. And I am eager to improve this team as much as the next guy, obviously. I mean, I want to make us better. I want to, really try and go far in the playoffs this year if we can. I mean, it's unlikely we're going to win the division just because the Cubs are still so good. So we're probably going to have to deal with the wild card game. And, investing a lot into this year for just the wild card game kind of scares me a little bit. I mean, because that game can go so many different ways. And, if you put too much into it, it really wouldn't take much to kind of ruin your season, and really, you could have ended up mortgaging your future just for the chance at this one-game playoff, which can be so random. So, I don't know. I think at the same time, we have the chance to be good players in free agency this offseason as well, which is because we do have some money available to us after we moved some contracts off of the books, like Homer Bailey and among others, Brandon Phillips as well. So, I think that we're going to have the opportunity to kind of, attack in free agency, and then, let's say we signed a starting pitcher, we get that guy for nothing other than, the money we're paying him, and then we can flip Walker for, another position player or something like that. It makes more sense to do a move like that. Here's what I'm trying to say, is it makes more sense to do a move like that in the offseason, just because you have so much more roster flexibility, and you have so many more avenues through which to acquire talent while not having to give up talent. So it is just, I don't know. I'm kind of torn on it. So those are the trades that we could make in this season that I think would improve the team the most. The guys that you saw there were like Miguel Sano, and I don't really want to trade for Miguel Sano. I think that's kind of unrealistic, and I do want to keep this realistic because I know a lot of people care about that kind of thing. The White Sox one I thought kind of made sense just because they aren't really like quite as good as they are in real life, and they've actually been really, really bad lately the last couple of weeks, but still I could see them dealing off Adam Eaton and Jose Quintana, even though those guys have been so good in real life this season, especially if they were getting a good young starter or a good young outfielder like Billy Hamilton. But anyway, I pretty much talked over the entire gameplay here, but we did end up picking up the victory. It was a pretty good game. Iglesias had 11 strikeouts in 7 innings, and he actually could have gone out for the 8th, but I decided to pinch hit for him. That was when Billy Hamilton pinch hit there, and Matt Holliday made that diving grab, but it did not matter because we did a lot of damage that inning anyway. We added on some insurance runs. I think Shaw had a 2-run single, and that was pretty much that. So we got home runs from Will Myers. He had a 2-run shot. Shaw had an RBI double as well, so he had 3 RBI this game, and I think that accounted for all 5 of our runs. And then Rajai Davis had the solo home run late in the game. So anyway, that is going to do it. I hope you guys did enjoy this episode. Let me know what you guys think we should do at the trade deadline. I'll just kind of I'll talk really quickly about it. So I think if we don't make major moves like moving Taijuan Walker and Billy Hamilton, I think we're going to try and find potentially a different left-handed platoon bat in left field to pair with Rajai Davis, and potentially some extra relievers as well. I'm not going to move Devin Mesoraco, and I'm not going to upgrade on that position until the offseason. I'll reevaluate it then. But he actually was playing fine before he got hurt, so I'm not really eager to get him out of here. So anyway, that's going to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'm out.